show on the road. Hey folks, how you doing? I have 3 packages here that need to be unboxed. So 2 of these I know are books, and one of them is a very cool video game accessory, I guess you can call it. But first of all, let's start with the books. And I suppose we'll start with this one. This book was sent to me from Goodreads, and on Goodreads I sign up for like free books almost on a daily basis. I look for the books that I'm interested in reading, and they send them to me usually earlier than the release date for review. Sometimes whenever I win, most of the time I don't. Probably for every like 100 or 200 books I sign up for, I'll win one. Yep, we got this first book open. Let's see what it is. Dictionary of Fine Distinctions, Nuances, Niceties, and Subtle Shades of Meaning. Wow, very interesting. Is it like a dictionary? A little bit. And so it looks like this is a book that, tells you what the distinctions are between various words. For example, autocrat versus despot versus tyrant versus a dictator, and parable versus a fable, and pier versus quay versus a wharf, and EST versus EDT versus ET. That's what I can expect from that. Very interesting, because I feel like this is the type of book that would greatly increase my vocabulary. It's not a story, which I like, because I've been reading a lot of books that were stories. So I told myself I was going to slow down the amount of books that I actually buy, and the reason is I was buying them faster than I can read them. So I told myself I was going to read 5 books and then buy one, and then I did. I read 5 books, and then I decided to buy one. And so this is for the collection. This is a book I actually bought, not one I got for free. If you hear like a bell or ringing in the background, that's my cat jumping everywhere. She kind of wants to leave the room, but I'm not going to let her, because she came in and didn't want to leave when I was closing the door. Now that I've closed the door, she wants to leave. So, haha. Alright. Ooh, this book was inexpensive. I bought it on eBay used, but it said it was like new when I bought it, so I'm hoping for a great... Oh my god. Blaze, a novel by Richard Bachman with a foreword by Stephen King. This looks pretty much brand spanking new. The cover on it is amazing. Yes, this is for my Stephen King collection. I'm still trying to get every novel and short story collection written by Stephen King. Richard Bachman is Stephen King. It's a pseudonym, a fake name that he uses to publish books. It's funny that the foreword is by Stephen King. And yeah, I think this was the last Bachman novel that was released, and I paid nowhere close to where it says this is US $25 brand new. I paid nowhere close to that, so I'm very happy to have this in my collection and to experience it. The very last item actually I bought off AliExpress for my game collection. We'll see what it is. So hopefully it is what I think it is and not like something else, because if it's not what I think it is, if it is something else, then it's like, oh, why am I recording this? Not that I was expecting other things, it's just, you never know. Maybe someone sent me something, So, nope, this is what I thought it was. So it's heavily bubble wrapped, but you can see here it says only on the Saturn. That's the Sega Saturn logo, how it appeared in Japan, and it says all-in-one, which is cool, but not exactly what it is. This one comes with a SanDisk 32 gigabyte memory card, and what this is the Saru. It is a cartridge that you could put in the back of the Sega Saturn with this SD card put in, and what it does is it reads the games off of the card to play on the Sega Saturn. So you don't have to use the CDs, you just upload all the games you want onto the SD card and you could play the games that way. This also works as a 1 megabyte and 4 megabyte RAM expansion, and works as a memory card, which is pretty awesome because now you can save your game saves and have it on an SD card, on a micro SD card for the Sega Saturn. So I'm very excited to try this out. I have the HD Retrovision component cables for my Sega Saturn. That's a mouthful. But I imagine this with those cables, with the wireless controller I basically have like almost a perfect setup, I would say, for the Sega Saturn. So I'm very excited about that. This is not the best solution, I think, for reading games off an SD card. There's another solution called the Satiator that I believe has a very close to 100% compatibility. This does not have that. The Satiator goes into the video CD slot in the back. There's like an expansion slot where you have the battery for the Saturn. But you know what? This is the cheaper option, and for the amount of compatibility it does have, it's the next best thing. Awesome. I have the Saru for the Sega Saturn. I've gotten Blaze by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. And lastly, I've gotten Dictionary of Fine Distinctions by Eli Bernstein. Venomous and poisonous. That's an interesting distinction, right? What's the difference between venomous and poisonous? My whole life I've been venomous. Alright, catch you on the next one, guys. Ciao.